Well, let's take a look at what is happening in the markets. And we start off with the JSE that just closed. It did get a handover of mixed trading in the Asian markets, but the local bourse trading in a green territory, the All-Share up on the day by 0.8%. That largely being carried by the Resources 10 complex, and of course we have seen the PGM miners being the high flyers there. That index surging more than 3%. We do have the Financial 15 eking out a gain of more than 0.1%. Industrial 25 climbing almost 0.25%. Let's take a look at the market stateside, and of course in labor market data we did have the weekly initial jobless claims rising more than expected, so meaning that more people applied for unemployment benefits. Of course, we are still awaiting the monthly non-farm payrolls that's coming out tomorrow. And this is, of course, after the ADP private payrolls yesterday showed that hiring in the private sector had hit its lowest level in about 2 years. In geopolitics, we also did have Chinese media saying that there was a call between US President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping, of course, discussing the tariffs, but not really a lot of details on the outcome of that call. Those markets in green territory, S&P 500 up by more than 0.4%. Tech-heavy Nasdaq climbing by 0.7%, and the Dow with an uptick of 0.33%. Let's take a look at the markets across the Atlantic, and in monetary policy, we did have the European Central Bank meeting today and deciding to cut its interest rates by 25 basis points. Mixed picture that we're seeing on that front. The FTSE 100 up slightly, relatively flat, just 0.03% above that flat line. We do have the DAX carrying most of those gains. They're up by almost 0.1%, but backing that trend is the CAC 40 shedding more than 0.1%. Let's check in on the currency scene and start off with how the rand is doing against some of the major currencies. The rand remaining pretty stable and actually a little bit stronger against the US dollar today at 17 rand 76, against the pound at 24 rand 15, and against the euro at 20 rand 33. Let's check in on the other currency pairs and start off with the euro dollar at 1.14, pound dollar at 1.35, and the yen just below 144 against the greenback.